Good evening, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a nice month, everyone, and God bless you. Thank you for always watching and subscribing to the channel. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the news. We're off to an absolutely stellar start again. You know the best cue to know that things are going well, to know that good things are happening, and that we're probably moving into a productive session as the level of leftist outrage and left droids are seething, this time left droid representatives, because Kevin McCarthy made a promise, and credit where credit is due. Kevin McCarthy is delivering. A new Republican House of Representatives has already started taking action, and on week one after these historic negotiations ahead of the Speaker vote, I can already tell it's gonna be a good 2 years. Let's just leave it at that. If a little Adam Schiff, he is panicking on the floor, seething and raging, well then you know we're off to the damn races. Alright folks. So Adam Schiff is not very happy. Just take a look at this. Everyone listen to this. Last time Republicans were in charge of that House, Kevin McCarthy pushed to form another bogus select committee that went on Benghazi. He did so as he admitted to tear down Hillary Clinton's numbers, a patently political exercise. Now McCarthy is at it again, pushed into forming this bogus subcommittee by the QAnon members of his own conference. Now he sacrificed a lot in his bid for Speaker. That was his choice, but now the American people are going to pay the price in the form of a body blow to our national security. Okay folks. Now I don't know about you guys. Now of course I want to analyze the content of what little dishonest, disingenuous, lying scumbag Shifty Schiff is saying. But to be completely honest with you, the first time that I watched this video all I could hear was this. I had to watch it a second and third time just to be able to absorb all the content. When we're little baby Adam Schiff is crying. It's not fair. He tells you it's not fair. Well, Republicans aren't allowed to launch their own committees and their own investigations. This coming from Adam Schiff. Adam friggin' Schiff. There is no greater hypocrite on the planet than this guy. Adam Schiff, the ex-chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, who constantly abused his power and leaked classified information and promoted falsified information for political gain, is now complaining that Republicans are launching a bogus select committee and that it's all political, even though we have so much actual evidence, some evidence even including Adam Schiff suggesting unethical actions and even criminal wrongdoing. This guy is such a clown. It's not even funny, but you might be asking, why is Adam Schiff having a little hissy fit on the House floor? Well, it's very simply because promises were made. Thankfully, promises were kept. Gone. Kevin McCarthy keeps promise to remove top Democrats from committees. You Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has fulfilled one of his promises by booting several Democrats off their committees. Let's freaking go folks. The Speaker confirmed on Monday that Democrat Representatives Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, will be removed from the Intelligence Committee, and Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar will be prevented from being on the Foreign Affairs Committee. The Washington Examiner reported Swalwell can't get a security clearance in the private sector. I'm not going to give him a government security clearance. Schiff has lied to the American public. He said, I always say, friends, it's about damn time. Eric Swalwell, who has known connections to a friggin' Chinese spy, as Kevin McCarthy said, can't get clearance in the private sector. Why the hell would he be in a position in government that would give him access to secret intel? It's absolutely nuts. Kevin McCarthy continues. Now you have Adam Schiff, who lied to the American public time and time again. We will not allow him to be on the Intel Committee either. As for Ilhan Omar, she's being removed from the House Foreign Affairs Committee over several past anti-Semitic remarks. We watch anti-Semitism grow not just on our campuses, but we watched it grow in the halls of Congress, he told the Republican Jewish Leaders Coalition's 2022 leadership meeting in Las Vegas. I promised you last year that a speaker, she will no longer be in foreign affairs. And I'm keeping that promise. And of course, I don't want this to seem as if I'm totally cheerleading for Kevin McCarthy all of a sudden, because I still have my issues with the guy. I still don't view them as totally genuine, but he is being held to account. He knows that there is significant discontent with him as the Republican leader. He knows that every single action and every single move that he takes is going to be analyzed and scrutinized under a microscope, and so he has no other choice, and not to mention a vote of no confidence can be started with one single member of the House, and so he knows that he can't play games. He has to act decisively. It seems as though on day one, that's exactly what we're getting. Adam Schiff is gone. Eric Swalwell is gone. Ilhan Omar are gone. The one I'm most thankful of course, is Adam Schiff, The one who's having the biggest hissy fit. No longer are we going to see him on TV as the intelligence expert with access to secret classified information telling us that there's more than circumstantial evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime. Well, he can no longer do that because he no longer has access to any of that classified top secret information yet done. He is done. And here's the second move and other promise being kept. It's a start. House GOP kicks off majority with vote to slash IRS funding. House Republicans began their tenure in the majority by passing a bill that would rescind nearly $71 billion that the previous Democrat majority in Congress had approved for the IRS. The money is on top of what Congress provides the IRS annually through the appropriations process and immediately became a magnet for GOP campaign ads in the fall claiming that the boost would lead to an army of IRS agents harassing hardworking Americans. The bill to rescind the money passed the House on a party line vote of 221 to 210. The Democratic-controlled Senate has vowed to ignore it. Now this one is going to be tough to get through the Senate. But at least they're sending a message: Republicans need to stand firmly with the middle class. Joe Biden claims that his focus when it comes to taxes is only on big corporations in the billionaire class or people making over $400,000 a year. Meanwhile, Democrats are passing bills, unleashing an army of IRS agents, regular Americans, and giving the IRS access if you any transaction over $600, not $6 million, not $600,000 on PayPal, Venmo, and other payment services. GOP House has to continue to fight back. Even if you can't pass the bill in the Senate, keep working, keep showing the American people that you intend to work for the American people or in for their interest. And this right here is a good first step. It's the right thing to do regardless of whether or not it's going to actually pass. Continue to fight all of the garbage the Democrats have already passed and make sure to be a great big barrier blocking their legislative dreams over the next 2 years. And speaking of being blocked, the final great piece of news from the House of Representatives this week. Rhino Dan Crenshaw, otherwise known as Eyepatch McCain, has just been denied. Representative Dan Crenshaw denied Homeland Security Committee chair after calling House Republicans critical of McCarthy, quote, terrorists. He tried half-assed walking it back, initially basically standing by his statement that didn't go so well for him. Then he apologized and totally retracted the statement. And now, of course, accountability. He's been denied his chairman role, and rightfully so. Eyepatch McCain gets BTFO'd. So far, we're off to a pretty decent start. The Republican House is tackling legislative issues that are important to average, everyday Americans. Nancy Pelosi no longer has her way to just pass whatever bill through the House that she wants. In other words, the Democrat legislative agenda is basically dead in water. Mike Rogers resigned from his committee position. Eyepatch McCain was blocked from his committee chairmanship. Kevin McCarthy makes good on his promises and removes Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and Ilhan Omar from their committee positions. It's now been announced that Jim Jordan is going to be the chairman of the new Church-Style Select Committee, which is probably why Adam Schiff is suffering such a severe meltdown. We're off to a stellar start. Now, what I'd really like to see, especially considering the timing, Joe Biden's pretending as if he's trying to do something about immigration, as if he cares about border security and the border crisis that he's created. What I'd like to see is the Republicans put together a comprehensive border security bill, with the first priority being unlocking the funding that Donald Trump secured to build the wall, which Joe Biden and the Democrats stopped, and then let's see just how serious Senate Democrats are when it comes to the issue of border security. You can just do your little photo ops, pretend as if you care, and then not take action. Put it to a vote and let's see who's honest and who's a massive, dishonest, disingenuous, hypocritical Democrat. And some significant news, and if you have not seen this story yet, it's pretty hilarious. Apparently, the Biden regime wants to start banning your gas-powered stoves because of climate change. Absolutely ridiculous. These people have junk science jump studies, and they're trying to base this policy decision based off of those junk studies and things. You got people like leading the way, people like AOC, who are absolutely mentally challenged when it comes to actual policies and things that pertain even outside of creating types of drinks to serve to customers, right? And so AOC decided to join to the fray here, and she was quickly swatted down, because she is a net when it comes to this type of stuff. She is someone who is annoying, someone that you do not want to be around, someone who you don't want to listen to because she doesn't know what she is talking about. She has no clue of what she is advocating for. Instead, she just advocates for what the machine wants and repeats it like a good little puppet. So let's go take a look what we have here. It says ASE claims gas stoves give you brain damage. Oh my gosh. Trump's former physician responds with an epic comeback. So recently AOC took to Twitter to defend the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission recent recommendations on banning gas stoves due to them reportedly being a health hazard. AOC tweeted, "Did you know that ongoing exposure to NO2 from gas stoves is linked to reduced cognitive performance? That explains a lot about John Fetterman up, never mind." Or tweet came in. As a response to Trump's former White House Representative Rodney Jackson tweeting, "I'll never get my gas stove. If the maniacs in the White House come from so they can pry it from my cold dead hands, come and take it." She linked to an article from Vox. You can read more here. She says as a response to AFCS comments. Representative Jackson tweet back at a picture of AOC using a gas stove with a caption. AOC says gas stoves reduce cognitive performance, yet she uses a gas stove as she is this a self-diagnosis? AOC is a medical doctor. I can tell you this. What's wrong with your head is not caused by stoves. Read it here. So here she is with her gas stove. It was very cold. Yes. He seemed people like AOC, people like Biden. People have to laugh. The globalists, people who want you to eat bugs, will never give up their luxuries that they want you to give up. They want you to give up air conditioning. They want you to give up your driving. They want you to give up meat. They want you to give a gas stove. They want you to give up everything in order to live in some pod and eat bugs, while they'll continue to use gas stoves, eat steak, drive their fancy cars, and fly in their fancy jets. Private jets have that because they think they are better than you and they rule you right. Again, we have plenty of previously reported the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission is looking to regulate and even going as far as banning gas stoves in the U.S. The commission, which employs a total of 500 employees, is now urging customers to buy electric stoves. Yeah, there's just something about cooking on a gas stove versus cooking on an electric stove, and we have an electric stove at home, and I would prefer a gas stove. I remember us actually having a gas stove back when we lived down south. It was fantastic. We loved it. The electric stove, just so much it doesn't cook everything evenly. It's hard to control the temperature on the burners and things like that. Gas stoves are absolutely lit. Thanks for being here, folks. Big hug. Ciao. Goodbye. God bless.